We are standing where John Dillinger took his last breath.
We're in the alleyway where he was killed by FBI agents. There's Mr. Dillinger. A mural on the wall behind us. We're going to take you around, show you the spot where he used to live here in Chicago, plus tell you what events led up to him being shot dead in this alley. And we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along. On July 22nd, 1934, John arrived to this theater, which was known as the Biograph Theater at the time, with two ladies.
They were here to watch the movie Manhattan Melodrama. It's actually amazing to us how little this theater has changed. It's been here for almost 100 years. It's got to be one of the oldest theaters in the country. If we step out here into the sunlight and look at the sign, looks very similar to how it did back then. Actually, this was brought up. It was a shooting location for the movie High Fidelity. John Cusack comes walking out of the theater. He talks about how John Dillinger died in the alleyway in a hail of FBI bullets behind this theater, all because of the woman. The woman turned him in. There's also another Cusack filming location right there. That was a little bar scene from the movie. All right, so back to Dillinger. John comes out of the theater with his friends. The one lady that turned him in was wearing an orange dress. The FBI would know who it was. The lady wasn't sure if they were going to this theater or another theater across town. But when they saw her here, they brought all the FBI agents from both theaters because they were staked out, both of them. And she had this orange dress on to let them know. So Dillinger, his friends, come right out this door. They take a left, come over here. An FBI agent is waiting right here. He lights a cigar. That's the signal to the FBI agents waiting over there across the street. No, hey, Dillinger's out of the theater. He's on his way. At some point, probably right in here, Dillinger understands what's going on. He sees the FBI. He grabs for his gun. He didn't get much further than that, though. He's running. He ended up right here in this alleyway.
Anna Sage and Polly Hamilton were the two women who were with Dillinger that night. Sage made an agreement with the FBI to turn him in if they agreed to give her cash and put in a good word for her with the Department of Labor in an effort to stop her from being deported. She ended up being deported anyway. In the alleyway, there are several pictures in the window of John.
Here they are. Mugshot. And probably not sure what that picture's from. He's wearing a tie. I'm traveling a one-way road and I'm not fooling myself as to what the end will be. If I surrender, I know it means the electric chair. If I go on, it's just a question of how much time I have left. And sure enough, that was it. Now here is a picture of the alleyway. You can see, can't see too well, but there's people standing around the spot. There's a little blood on the ground and some bricks. Obviously, the bricks have been removed. They would have been in this area here. It appears that this has been constructed since the night, but it had to have been right in here where he passed away. Part of his body was out of the alley. His head, the other half, stomach area and whatnot, were inside the alley, right in this area here, with some blood pooled below him. And over here, all my life, I wanted to be a bank robber, carry a gun, and wear a mask. But everybody can wear a mask now. Now that it's happened, I guess I'm just about the best bank robber they have ever had, and I sure am happy. And here's a look at the mural. John Dillinger, dead or alive. See how the paint trickles out almost like blood onto the alley.
We are now at the location where John Dillinger used to reside. Another lady used to live in this location as well, who has a much happier story. Her name was Julia Porter. She sadly lost her son at the age of 13. However, she decided to use all of her pain and grief and turn it into something much more beautiful to help others. She offered free care for children who were in need.
She did it right here at this location. This place is now called the Julia Porter Park, named after her. She started at the hospital here. It has grown into a huge children's hospital here in Chicago called the Anne and Robert Laurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. But back then, back around the 1930s, John Dillinger, on July 4th, I don't remember the year, but it was in the 1930s, he moved in to an apartment right here and started to live here with his lady friend, and also there was a lady that he knew from a brothel. Now, these two women were the ones that came with him on the night of that movie. Now, the problem with these situations back in the 1920s and 1930s, we had Bonnie and Clyde, you had John Dillinger and others. They would show up and rob banks and even kill people, sheriff's deputies and whatnot. And these local police could not handle these guys because they had a lot of firepower. They knew how to use their weapons. So the local police didn't know what to do with them. That's why they would ask the Bureau of Investigation to come help. At the time, it wasn't known as the FBI. It was just the Bureau of Investigation, the BOI. It was actually a great deal to do with Bonnie and Clyde, John Dillinger, and these others. That's why they started the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover was in charge of the Bureau at the time. And he said, look, we got to be involved in these things. These local authorities are not handling these guys. Dillinger escaped from jail 3 or 4 different times. It was becoming very difficult for local authorities to deal with these guys. That's why they had to bring the FBI in.
Here to the right is where Dillinger's apartment was on the night of his death. Just down there past the taquito sign on the right is the alleyway he died in. And you can see the theater sign not far down the road from there, which wasn't far from his apartment at all. Now let's continue walking down the alley to figure out where John may have ended up if he had gotten away.
Here we go. We're going through the whole alley. This is where he would have ended up. Of course, I don't know if this building would have been here back then, a long time ago. But it looks like he would have had a few options for escape routes if he would have come out this way. Y'all be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.